You have one unheard message.
Hello, Jenny.
Hello, Jenny.
I need some help.
You'll never believe what they said to me.
Help me, Jenny. Help me, Jenny.
Hi, it's Jenny, modern day etiquette expert. I'm here to help. All of your awkward encounters, uncomfortable boundaries, and questionable social interactions are welcome here. We can navigate them together with warmth, empathy, and curiosity because Jenny says so. Let's get into it. Welcome back. I am so happy to have you here. You are cordially invited with me to have a conversation about wedding gifts. So let's get to the voicemail.
You have one unheard message.
Hi, Jenny. I'm loving the podcast and I need some help with gift stuff. I'm not quite sure who else to ask, so I'm grateful for the space. As a wedding guest, what should be expected to pay the couple as a gift? I'm in a little bit of a tight place financially, so the past few weddings that I've attended that have required travel, hotels, like new clothes, all the stuff. And I haven't given any sort of gifts. Is that terrible? I feel kind of bad, but also spent tons of money traveling. What are my options if I can't give the couple what they deserve? Help. Thank you so much. It's signed the Guilt-Stricken Wedding Guest from Wisconsin.
Okay. I appreciate this question so much because I feel like this is part of what I would call the millennial squeeze, right? We are in these communities where people are getting married, people are doing all these great things, and we have lived through recessions and depressions and who knows what's upcoming next. And also living through the influx of destination weddings and also living through the influx of we went to university that was maybe far away from home. And now our friends are all far flung around the world and we have to fly everywhere for their weddings. This is why I didn't invite anyone to mine. It was in Scotland. And I didn't think that that was fair to do to people, though I'm sure they would have liked to come to Scotland. So this question is asking, what do you get somebody for their wedding if you are financially tight, like you are unable to get them a gift, and or you've spent a lot of money flying to their wedding and going to their wedding? And I think that my opinion is a little controversial. So I'm of two minds. And the first mind is I always think that it is a nice gesture to get somebody a gift that is commensurate with the cost of a plate at the wedding. That's sort of the traditional guidance is if you think, I don't know how you are supposed to know this. I think we're just kind of supposed to assume that a plate at a wedding is between $150 and $300. That most people that are in my society groups are paying about that for people at a wedding. Weddings are very expensive. Again, why I chose to elope. So I think that getting somebody a wedding gift off their registry, which is also we like to do that, get somebody a gift off their registry. That is about, if you're one person going, $150. If you're two people, a couple, about $300. That is nice. If you can, that is what I will say. If you can do that, not everyone can do that. And the part that I think is a little controversial, that I think, is that weddings are not quid pro quo events, meaning you are not invited to a wedding and hosted by the people that are throwing it, the bride, the groom, their parents, whoever else is helping them pay for it, in order to get gifts. That is not why we come together as community to celebrate a couple. We do not do that to give them gifts. We do it to celebrate them. And when we give people gifts, we want to give people gifts because we are excited to do so and not because a registry has been sent to us and we are going to the wedding and we feel that we must. I think that's controversial. And I know that maybe I'm going to get some blowback on that, and that's okay. I have been in the wedding industry for nearly 20 years. I was a professional officiant for 10 years before I stopped doing that. I worked in wedding invitations. I have a lot of experience in weddings. I have also done wedding coordination. I planned Olivia's and I planned my own, though my own didn't happen. But I've have a lot of experience with this, and I just really, it makes me itch when the idea of a wedding is that there's some kind of quid pro quo. There was a piece that went around a couple of months ago about a bride whose assistant sent out an email to people that hadn't given gifts and said, "Where's the gift?" Like, I think it was a year later. And that, to me, that makes me want to dig a hole and go crawl into it, because that is not why we come together as community to celebrate. I think that there needs to be a little bit of a reckoning of why we have weddings, which is to celebrate the couple and come together as a community and hold them up and hold up their love and support them in that. So, what should you do if you are financially not in the position to give a gift that you believe is commensurate with the plate that you are getting from the wedding, or something that is on the registry? One is choose something that's on the registry that's low cost. And if somebody is being guided through the registry process, which I hope people are, if they don't know what they're doing, there should be a range of gifts, right? There should be gifts starting, let's just say the normal wedding that costs $25,000, that is, a couple from New York, let's say. There should be gifts on that wedding registry starting at $20 and going up to maybe $500, so that you can pick from a range. And there should be plenty of items sort of in that range, so that if you are going to the wedding and you want to give them a gift, but you do not have a lot of cash on hand, that you could get them something that is in your budget. Because it is not loving to yourself or to other people to overextend our budget in order to provide a gift for them. That is counterintuitive to self-care. So, when we are looking at wedding gifts, we want to get something off the registry if possible. If that's not possible, you can give them a card. I think a card is really nice. A heartfelt card is never going to be rejected. And the thing about a card that I love is it answers the question, did they forget to give me a gift, or did they just not give me a gift? Right? It shows that you've shown up in some way and you have recognized that you've been to this wedding and that there is sort of an exchange happening without having to spend money. On top of that, you could get them a gift card to their favorite coffee shop, right? For $20-$30. That's usually in most people's budgets. I know that these weddings that are destination weddings sometimes cost a lot of money, but usually you can find $20 to get to their favorite coffee place, or Starbucks even, or their favorite restaurant, something like that. If you know something about the couple, something that they appreciate, something that they enjoy, maybe you can tap into that and find something in that niche, or a gift card towards that niche. Thomas and I are, members of our movie theater by us, of our cinema. We would love a gift card to the cinema. That's something that would have been a really wonderful wedding gift for us if somebody was trying to find something within a budget range. So I think that there's a lot of ways to go about this, but I think that we need to start rejecting the quid pro quo of weddings, understanding that a card, a gift certificate, even like a really fancy chocolate bar, just something that recognizes that you did not simply forget the gift at home. You brought something and you appreciate them and you appreciate the invitation. I also think that we have to start remembering that when somebody holds a wedding, they are the host. And again, there should not be a quid pro quo when somebody is the host of an event. They are welcoming you into that space. They are taking care of you. I believe that the only thing you are responsible for is bringing a good mood and bringing good times. So that is my advice. Maybe it's controversial. I believe in celebrating people. I love, and I love weddings. And I very much chafe at the idea that there is meant to be this exchange between wedding guest and wedding host. So I think the important part is to tap into that famous old chestnut. It is the thought that counts, especially when it comes to weddings, especially when it comes to all of these added in costs that come with weddings these days, like getting into town a night early for a rehearsal dinner, or a hotel, or a new dress, or a flight. So when we take all of that into account, what we want to do is we want to show up for people the best way that we possibly can. without overextending our budgets, because that is, again, not self-care, not loving, and hopefully not what our loved ones want for us. So this also gets back to my point of when we love people and have them in our communities, we have to expect the best from them. We want to expect the best from them and expect and believe that their motivations are good, which means that quid pro quo doesn't really exist in a place where motivations are good. If you have any more questions about it, I'm happy to talk more about it. I'm happy to clarify. I'm curious what you usually give for weddings. I try to go off the registry, but what do you do? I'd love to hear. Thanks for tuning in to Jenny Says So. Remember, setting boundaries and practicing modern etiquette isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up with kindness, respect, and authenticity in every interaction. Keep practicing, keep learning. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself when needed, and never forget, no is a complete sentence. Do you have a question you need a little help with? Head to freshstartsregistry.com/JennySaysSo and ask away. All questions are anonymous, and I'm here to help.